Good morning, everyone. Let's get going with Master Lok's Tai Chi and Qigong. Let's salute right hand in a fist, left hand straight. Pull back that thumb, feet together, hands together, and let's salute. Good. And relax down, opening your stance. And we just have a little bit of warming up this hip rotation and breathe. As you can see, slightly different today. I have left the natural light coming flooding in. Got a bit of shadow there, but it's nice to get a bit of light in this in the winter. And as I was saying, we have a whole nursery going on over here with ginger and sunflower seed, sunflowers and tomatoes growing, and our citrus, spider plants and aloe vera. It's all kind of crammed in there, so I just didn't want to disturb it today. All of this is my husband's doing. I am of the kind that doesn't like to kill plants, and therefore I probably wouldn't have a house plant if it wasn't for him. But he has green fingers everywhere. He's just everywhere you look in our house, there's plants. Very good for you, by the way. Very good for clearing the air, apparently. Good. Let's change direction, please. And check in with your body. How is it moving? Do you feel any restriction? Is there any pain? Or is it nice and loose? I see a lot of people with arthritis, especially here in the west of Ireland, but actually anywhere, Northern Ireland as well. And you'll see that they may not be aware of it, but it does seem to get worse when the weather is very damp. And lots of people do notice it. I notice it. When it is damp out, it's even more obvious if there's wee aches and pains. So what do you do? How do you help with that damp? Let's change direction, please, and go into our second movement that remains upright. Well, the Taoist method, and remember that Tai Chi, Qigong, Chinese medicine are all based on the principles of the study of nature. So that's called Taoism. So it's not, not to be confused with a religion. It is a study and an observance of how things function. And so Taoism has really delved deep into how the body works. And that's how we know about the meridians, how energy flows, and Chinese medicine, what helps to fix it or help your body fix itself. And it also helps us understand what inhibits good function. So, according to Chinese medicine, damp can be caused by ingesting cold foods and drinks. And just think, how often do we have cold food and drink? And I don't just mean from the refrigerator or from the freezer, I mean that has not been heated. So every time we take in cold food and drink, it quenches the fire of the stomach. Think of the stomach as a cooking pot, and the stomach has to churn and cook, if you like, the food and drink that comes in to process it and help to absorb all that good stuff. So if you quench the fires of the cooking pot with cold food and drink, it inhibits the functioning of the stomach and it stresses the spleen. Change direction, please. As a result, Chinese traditional medicine blames issues with the spleen on over 90% of all ailments. I'll just let that drop for a second. 90% of all ailments are considered to be caused through problems with the spleen. So we need to look after the stomach and spleen. They're a team, they work together, and the easiest way to do that is to only eat and drink hot food and drink. Only. Now, of course, you might want the odd ice cream, you might want the odd treat, you might have a problem that you can't get at hot food, so you eat a sandwich. Fair enough, please change direction, but try to have something hot. So a cup of tea with your sandwich, a cup of soup with your sandwich, keep the fire lit in your stomach, and therefore you will not be chilling your system and slowing your metabolism. We were talking about Tai Chi walking, helping with your metabolism, helping you lose weight. Well, eating and drinking warm foods will also help just to keep her lit, just to keep your body using that food properly. Otherwise, the cold creates a kind of condensation within the body, which we call damp. So if you think of cold water on a glass, or sort of cold water in a glass, it gets frosty and the water starts pouring down the outside of the glass. That's condensation. Good. Let's ease out of our stance, please. Shake out. So we don't want to do that to our own bodies. Every time we take cold stuff in, it creates this issue with damp. Circle, please. And that can cause edema, which means swelling, fluid retention, which looks like fat. So, yeah, people often think they're fat, whereas actually they've just got fluid retention. So having hot water can really help. Change, please. I have one client who says that she has very sore legs all the time, and she knows that if she drinks hot water, the pain goes away. But when she drinks cold water, because she enjoys cold water, the pain comes back in her legs. And that's exactly it. Without having any knowledge of Chinese medicine, she has experienced what we're talking about. Shake out, please, on the other side. So I know it can be a massive shift, and a lot of people, they really struggle. They're like, but I like cold water, it's refreshing. Yes, but once you realize it's not good for you, like really not good for you, not just for one ailment, but any number of ailments, then, if you can drink tea, coffee, hot chocolate, you can encourage yourself to drink hot water. Change, please. Try it. Give it a go, folks. See how you feel. I would encourage you to try only to eat hot food and drink for a week and see if you notice any difference. You may notice that even your digestion just feels so much better. Good. Shaking out, please, and a little trot on the spot. Okay, so let us have a little rattle through our 7 stars in rotations Qigong. We lengthen up through the top of the head, the chin slightly down and back, and just take your time to calm, release, and relax down. Calming down, and listen behind. Let's lengthen our fingers down. And we begin. Movement 2, let's start by rolling forwards and back, filling the waist, and release. Good. Now we add the rotation, rolling round in a circle. Let's change direction. There's no set number that you do. You just pick a number and do it on both sides. So we're doing 6. Come to center. Ah, notice we're chest tight now. Change direction. Back to center. And movement 3. Gather. Good, lovely. Turn the palms. Point around the feet, up the back, around the waist, and cover center. Relax. Keeping the top of the head light, relax the body down. Good. Now, sometimes you might get a little oink in your belly. You might get a gurgle in your tummy. And that's really good if you get that. It's your parasympathetic nervous system kicking in. That means your digestive system is thanking you. So anytime, maybe not even when you're practicing Tai Chi, but if you find your tummy starts gurgling, it's a really good sign. Doesn't necessarily mean you're hungry, it means your digestive system is functioning well. Relax into your belly. Gurgles are a sign of a happy system, a relaxed system. Let's take a nice deep breath. Draw in. Hug your elbows in. And breathe down into your belly. Good. Let's release and we start our little rotation. This is centering practice. Guess what it's for? Stomach and spleen. So the more I think about it, the more I think I should be doing this exercise all the time. And Master Lok often gives this movement first before anything else. It's the first movement in the Phoenix in Graceful Clouds of Blessing form. And when we do silk reeling for Master Lok's work, we do this exercise first. Because in his words, it clears the system for everything else to function. So as we say, if all bar 10% of pathology is based on spleen imbalance, then if you give your spleen and your stomach a bit of love every day, everything's going to benefit. Good. All right. So now we're going to turn to your front left. Turn the feet to the corner. And we're going to do our little choo-choo train move. We start at the base of the spine and we roll up little by little turning the waist. So you might think it's my arms that are moving, but they're moving because my waist is turning left and right, and that is cycling the hands up, just like the pistons on a train. And we feel our way up the spine at the level of the hands. Keeping the chin down, feel up the little vertebrae of the neck so the movement becomes smaller until you reach the base of your skull. And then we step to the side and we flip our toes and we flip our hands. We come underneath and along and turn and relax down. I'm going to skip back so that you can still see me. In fact, no, I'm going to do the same as you. So, yeah. So your right hand comes under and we stretch the arms apart and turn, left foot steps. So this is the beginning of the Phoenix form. Expand, release the back foot and step, squash and expand. And we go over. And we do that again this time, over and come in, step to the side. Now we flip the toes to the left and turn the waist. Turn the hands and push the hands away from your center line. So you get a really good stretch. Release, lasso the hand, turn and do the same on the other side. Stretch the hands away. Good. Come into center, cross the hands, sit back and down as we stretch the arms forwards and away. And you should feel very full in the small of your back. Notice I'm not completely stretching my arms straight. I'm stretching through the curve, whoops, and keeping the chin tucked and stretching the neck. So this is the turtle. You'll feel your legs engage and release. Good. And we're going to turn to the front left. I'll turn a little bit more so that you can see. Ready? We're going to step through right. Rock back, hug, and lift. Step through left. Block, step back, and pierce. Fix your foot. Block, step back, and pierce. Choo-choo train again. Half step with the back foot and stretch. And a big step left. Half step, stretch. Right hand forwards, left elbow back. Release. Step to the right. Block right, left hand in front of chest. Push forwards, rise. Slide down, step left. Block and rise. Slide down, block and rise. Turn to the front and scoop. Big stomach and spleen move now. And come in. The next move starts the same way. Movement 6 is the 6 harmonies. Ready? Swing the arms down. Turn on the heel, step through. Arms up and over. Open left. Come back the way you came. Left arm up. Step back, swing down and up. Turn on the heel. Step through and open right. This time we keep turning in the same direction. Step left. Crossing the arms and open for martial flowers. Good. If you have room, you can step, cross over the front leg, and back, over the front leg, turn. Do it stationary first. Cross and circle. We could call it exeoses, couldn't we? And then we step, and step, and back, the back. Or if you're English, it'd be noughts and crosses. Ready? Take a deep breath and relax down. Good. Now we go on to our 7 stars in rotations. the last step, the seventh step. And just for fun, let's try doing a full 16 steps around. So we're going to do a double circle in each direction. Let's try it. Ready? We lengthen up. Chin down and back, relax down. Fingers point down. And we scoot. Left hand under. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. You can do it. Yeah. Turn and push your right heel out. And right hand swings towards the center, release your left foot. So often we go the other way first, but it doesn't matter. We're going to do both sides. So we're going to do 8 steps round, and then we're going to do another 8 steps round. Starting with the front foot, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, halfway, 4, 5, 6, 7, back to home again. 1, 2, 3, halfway, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Turn in, right hand on top, left hand underneath. Release your right foot, left hand now reaches to the center, and we repeat. We do 16 steps around. Off we go. 1, 2, 3, halfway, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again. 1, 2, 3, halfway, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Return home. Take a breath. We rest level with the waist for a moment. Point to the floor. And the heel tap. Excellent. Just give yourself a moment. I want you to listen to your heart rate, to your breathing. Listen to your body. And let go. Good. Okay. And ease out of your stance. Excellent. So, many moons ago, gosh, a long time ago, one of my students in a class was going, you're breathing quite heavily. You're kind of breathing very heavily. Surely you shouldn't be breathing heavily doing Tai Chi. You should be very serene. And I was thinking, well, yes, if I was doing my Tai Chi, all things being equal, and relaxed and sort of doing it in my own time, yeah, pretty much we would like our breath to flow nice and serene. But I was doing quite heavy duty Tai Chi, and I was talking the way I am with you now. I was guiding the class every single step of the way. So I was doing the exercise and talking and thinking about what I was talking and being quite animated and excited about sharing that stuff. And so my breath was not as serene as it should have been. And I think that particular student judged me quite harshly because I wasn't breathing serenely. Oh well, what can you do? But actually, you might find that as you do your Tai Chi, your breath may be quite heavy. You might be breathing quite hard. Your heart rate might be beating quite hard. It depends how familiar you are with your moves, how fast you're going, how deep your stance is. If you're in a big deep stance and you're really pushing it, you may not yet have the fitness to sustain that slow turtle-like breath. But we are aiming for a slow, what they say, turtle-like breath, this long, slow, thin, deep breath, almost like you're sleeping, that your breath is just soft and relaxed. But Tai Chi is an aerobic practice, as in every movement we want to breathe. So what I'm saying is basically don't worry about your breath, because if you worry about it, it'll probably become more labored. And most important is that you are just breathing. And our Grandmaster Chen talks about this. He says, nature is the first principle. Don't try to force your breath to do anything. If you're trying to force your breath to be calm, you're actually adding tension. So just let go and let your breath flow, and it will meet you where it needs to be. So as you become more familiar, more fit, and more calm because you're confident with what you're doing, then your breath will get to that stage. But I must say, if I'm talking away to you, guiding the moves, my breath is not going to flow like that turtle as I'm doing the Tai Chi. Teaching is not the same as practicing, but that's neither here nor there. Just let your breath flow. Please, if you can, breathe through your nose at all times. If you have a blocked nose, fair enough, you can breathe through your mouth because we don't want you to suffocate. But let it be silent. It should not be, I don't know if you can hear that, but you shouldn't be noisy in your breath because that actually distracts your energy. It distracts your awareness from the flow of movement. So just keep breathing. You did very nicely. Okay, so let us now have a go through the Phoenix. Do you want to do both sides today? Thumbs up if yes. No, not really. Oh, you do? Okay. Yes. All right. It was a sort of yeah. Okay, great. So let's do both sides. And again, I think it's nice to just see what happens because so often my brain just goes on autopilot because I've done it so many times and I close. But if we can, what we'll do on the second side, if I'm mirroring here, we'll finish the second side, we'll scoop underneath and open the fist, and then we'll step back 4 times, right side with right side, left side with left side. So you'll step back left, right, left, right, and there you're getting stomach spleen exercises all the way, and then we expand. And is that right? Let me just do it, sorry. On your second side, hold on, we'll do the whole of the Phoenix couple return home. So yeah, here we are. Okay. So yes, so right, left, right, left, and then we're good to go. And the foot that's forward, your right foot just steps forwards again, and then expand. Would you like to practice the transition with me, seeing as it's still a bit new for me because I'm just making it up? Let's practice the transition a couple of times and then we'll go all the way on the first side, transition all the way on the second side, and hopefully we'll all remember. Okay, so let's go. The end of the Phoenix form is Phoenix couple return home. So with me, please. Ready? And we swing, turn, draw in, left hand and fist, and chase. And turn and chase. Now, scoop your left hand under, open your right hand. Step back right, scoop right hand under. Step back left, left hand under. Step back right, right hand under. Step back left, left hand under. And then open, turn, and your right foot that's already forwards steps forwards again. And there you are on your second side. Yeah? Let's do that again. So this, this modification that I've created just helps us to move back in our space if we have limited space. Is that light annoying you? I can close the curtain. No, it's okay. Good, all right. So, yes, so my modification is to do the stomach spleen exercise 4 times, which I think is actually very in keeping with Master Lok's whole thing, because the very first move of the form is stomach spleen, but we just do it once. So now we're doing it 4 times. Let's do it one more time, and then we'll do the whole form together on both sides. So from here, ready? And left hand under, right side back, right side back, left side back, Expand, turn, and step. Good. Okay. Is that doable? Yes, good, okay. So let's go now from the beginning of the form. We'll do the whole way through. We'll see if we can implement that little transition and then go into our second side. But if ever you're practicing, which is always good no matter what you do, if you find yourself closing, happy days, close, and then just do the whole thing if you want to on the second side. All right, are you ready? Let's lengthen up and relax down. Calming down. Listen behind. Ready? Start. This time open the arms wide and press. From here we're coming up to that last move, the next couple of returns home. So here we are, left hand scoops under, right hand opens, step back, right, left, right, left, expand, turn and step. And if you wanted to do multiple reps, you could just do the same thing that we did on the other side. But for now, we'll just round it off by crossing hands, step back. Point to the floor and close left. Good job. Just for a moment, listen to your heart rate. Listen to your breath. Notice how, as you let go, everything calms down very quickly and returns to normal. Good, and a little heel tap. Excellent. Well done. How did you get on? Yeah, I'm seeing I'm seeing some smiley thumbs up and some dodgy. What happened? What was dodgy? Come talk to me. Tony, what wasn't right? Excuse me.
Sorry, was that Tony said it wasn't right?
Yeah, he kind of went like this.
Oh,
You were here.
yeah. Well, I thought it was doing all right. Maybe you wouldn't have thought.
Oh, I think you do pretty well. Yes, Tony, what happened?
Just my brain.
Human error.
Yeah,
Do you have a sort of automatic camera? It seems to follow you
yeah,
around.
it does. Yeah, yeah.
That's amazing.
Mm.
Technology, yeah. Good. Okay. Well, just practice.
Yeah,
That's why I
it wasn't
record
too
these.
bad. It's getting better, shall we say? It's getting better.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. You will get to the point that you're on autopilot. I mean, I'm kind of at that stage. I am at that stage now that I'm on autopilot, but you still have to keep your awareness with it. And that's what I noticed, that my body knows what it's doing. It goes, follow me, I know the way. And I'm like, yeah, sure, you do it. And then I'm like, hold on, I'm not actually present. And that's, at every stage of development, there's always a pitfall, if you like. So at the beginning, we're all concerned about getting the moves correct and we want to get them right. And we're really focused on trying to get the moves correct and maybe overly stressing, but we're focused. But as we get more and more familiar, then the body will more and more go, oh yeah, I know this, and it'll do it even, if your brain goes to sleep. And that can be good, but we don't want the brain to go to sleep. We want to stay connected. We want to stay mindful with the movements and feel our way rather than just coast. So I'm at that stage now with this form that I can find my mind wandering, but my body's still doing it right. But then I realize, oh, my mind wandered and I need to bring it back to the practice. So that happens for everyone in things like standing practice, or, if you're doing a body scan, if you're doing something very simple, your mind can kind of drift off and you'll think about other things because, you're not doing anything complex. So actually, the complexity of our practice helps our mind to become honed to focusing and staying focused. But as I say, as we get more and more familiar, you'll get to the stage where your mind can play hooky, it can go off somewhere, and your body's still doing it right. So there are different levels but there's always a pitfall. So at the beginning, it's just trying to get it right, and as you progress, it's trying to stay focused, even though your body kind of knows what it's doing. But still, then you can focus on various aspects. So one day you could be focusing on breathing with the movement. With each move, you want to be aware of what the breath is doing, like we were talking about breath. Or you could be focusing on flow and making sure that you are transitioning smoothly from one move to the next without speeding up. So you can always give yourself a little focal point to your practice to help you. But getting it right, yes, that is the first stage, but you're at a really sweet place in your studies if you're still focusing on getting it right because you are focused, so even if you're a bit lost or confused at times, you're still in that beginner's mind focus, which is awesome. So at every stage, we want to actually get back to the beginner's mind. Beginners don't realize what an incredible position they're in, because they're wide open for learning. But as I say, as we progress, we can become, we think we know what we're doing. And when we do that, we kind of close our awareness a little bit, close our minds to the actual juice of what we're doing. And we learn by listening to everything, to every experience as we practice and work in companion with our body and our energy, with that little bit of guidance into the choreography. Yeah. Blah, 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 Jen. Right, let's get up and we'll do some Immortals. So if I can get up, I was sitting strangely there. Yeah, so yeah, we've 15 minutes left. Let's just move our bodies a little bit again, just ease ourselves. Um, don't know about you, but I was crouched in a very silly position, so I need to release. Okay, so we're just going to do the Immortals on one side. Unlike the Phoenix, I've never heard Master Lok saying that we should do the Immortals on both sides, and I'm glad of that. I have tried it a few times. I didn't feel it was particularly successful, but just the one side is hard enough work. It's quite martial, and this is proper full-on Tai Chi. All Tai Chi is Qigong, whereas the Phoenix form Master Lok describes as a Tai Chi Qigong form, as in it's heavy on the health, and gentler. The martial aspect is somewhat secondary. So this is full-on martial, but it just so happens to be very beneficial for us at the same time. Okay, once through the Immortals, please. And actually, I want you to have a little think about it through first before we do it. I'm going to pause for a second. Good. Okay, so let's begin our Immortals. So we have the heels together, the toes slightly apart. Remember Master Lok's prerogative? He's always saying 23.4 degrees. So each foot is turned out 23.4 degrees, which brings you to roughly 45 degrees. So let's lengthen up through the top of the head, the chin slightly down and back, and calming down. Find all 10 fingertips and gently lengthen them to the floor, keeping the center of your palms soft. And we begin. And it's the left hand that comes under this time in your stomach spleen exercise. Expand. Left hand hooks, right hand hooks. Okay. Fishing toad. Turn the palms out, elbows out, push out as you kick, and step down. Circle. And kick. Step down. And rise. Step. So we can have a wee go at the jump. Cross, down, down, lift, kick, step, back. Good. Again, I'd encourage you to just stand and notice your heart rate, notice your breathing. Notice the activity within your body. And breathe. And with each breath, allow yourself to release and relax. Notice that internal festival of movement just gently, subtly calming down. Good, and a little heel tap. And I'd encourage you, if you're practicing, when you practice, to do that and maybe just stand until your body is completely back to just normal without any thumpy, thumpy, thump going on. What I often find is when I finish a form like that, I feel the need to kind of get out and whew, move around a little bit. So it feels like I've almost been boxing, when I have this kind of agitation because the internal world is so lively, full of chi. But actually, there's this whole dynamic that we're looking to achieve. There's sort of four combinations. You can have activity on the outside and activity on the inside, very active, not balanced. But it's normal, and from day to day, we're very active all over the place. Then you can have stillness on the outside, but activity on the inside. And that's, we're getting there. That's slightly more balanced, but still, it's only one of the phases. And then you can have what we want to do before we start Tai Chi, which is calm on the outside, calm on the inside, so that we're nice and still. And then we can have activity on the outside while we're calm on the inside. Have I said all the different? You can work it out, can't you? So active and active, active on the outside, calm on the inside, calm on the outside, active on the inside, or calm on the inside, calm on the outside. Yeah, so we're expressing all of these things in our daily activities, but very rarely are we calm on both inside and outside. So our stand at the end and at the beginning is to try to bring us to that place where we are still, where everything just goes. And from that place, it's much more easy to have movement, activity on the outside, but on the inside, we maintain that serenity, that calm. So stillness before and stillness after allows your system to transition from activity to stillness. Whereas if we just heel tap and then start moving around, we miss out on that opportunity. Gosh, okay. So how did you get on? Good. Thumbs up. Happy days. All right. So we've less than 5 minutes left, folks. So not really enough time to do the whole form again. Are there any burning questions or any aspect that you want to just have a wee clean at? No, I don't think so. Today we look happy. Good. All right. So let's just have a wee warm down. So the good news is I've recorded the form, I've recorded the class, so you can play with it to your heart's content. Please do. have a play, watch again if you have time. Or if you find yourself just with a few minutes here and there during the week, during the day, have a wee play through. You can go over a form in your mind. It's quite difficult, but it is excellent brain training, and it is also considered practice. So if you're not actually doing the move, but you're sat maybe at your desk and you're kind of going, oh, yeah, that is training because it prepares the nervous system and the muscles. It actually twitches the muscles and strengthens them. And then when you do the practice itself, you've done a dry run. And so you're more able to engage. Good. Go down to the knees, lower legs, ankles and feet. So like I said earlier, sometimes the body goes on autopilot if you've been doing it a lot and it starts to have an idea what it's doing. And so your brain can drift off somewhere. So thinking through a form without moving is the opposite of that you're actually engaging the brain and the body is relaxing, but it will still, there's a connection. You can't divorce the brain from the mind. Every thought you have has an effect on your body. That's scary, isn't it? But it's true. So if we think about our Tai Chi moves, we're actually doing Tai Chi, even if we're not moving. And if we're thinking about all the things we've done wrong in our life and why you're in a melodrama, that's going to have an effect on your body. And if you're thinking about all the things that could go right and that you want to do and that you're excited and happy about and feeling good about, that will have a great effect on your body as well. So isn't that good news? We are a powerful tool that can actually help ourselves or hinder ourselves, and it all comes down to where our mind is at. So let's flop the wrists. This is called 100 ailments go away. So as we bounce, we can just think of all those issues, all those problems falling off us like dust, flying away. Good, and rub your hands and pat. Again, just like you're getting rid of dust, any bad energy is loosened and now it's going away. It's going off you like dust and it's turning to light. Down your back, down your front, getting rid of that dump, down the sides, down the inside, and brush, brush, brush. And though it might sound fanciful, actually, if you visualize, if you think of getting rid of that bad energy, getting rid of those problems, it actually does have some effect. Good. Whew. Stand, please, and listen to your body. Again, breathe, feel. Do you feel the tingling? If not, don't worry, just listen to your body. If you do feel a tingling, that is your own vitality. It is your life force expressing itself. It's been stimulated. So now it's doing a spring clean of your whole body. So let's gather it up and guide it back to center, recharging our batteries. Check posture. Breathe into your belly. And feel your energy is stronger. Beautiful. Folks, thank you so much for coming and for working so hard. Don't ever worry if you make a mistake or you get a bit lost or confused. Just let go and flow. If you have to stop and just kind of get your bearings and then jump back in, great, no problem. Repetition is key. So we might think, oh, I've done the form once today. Well done, me. Yes, great. If you can do it 3 times by the end of the week, if you do that every day, you will be 3 times further along than if you had done it once. But if you're tired, if you've had enough, stop. It's not about pummeling yourself to a pulp. It's about using what you've got comfortably within 70% of your capacity, and you will keep on improving. So I'm delighted to share this journey with you. Thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Well done.